Welcome back, Canal Street Dreams. We were supposed to have a guest today. The guest has not arrived yet. They have car trouble, so we're going to go ahead, give you a one-on-one pod. If they come in halfway, they come in. But if not, we have plenty to talk about.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
Yes. How did you feel about the Santa photos yesterday?
I thought they were good. I think it's so funny having the experience in New York versus having the experience in LA, where at the Grove, they have like the red carpet, like 4K, incredible cameras in your face. They're getting every angle. There's like somebody filming it up here. You get the video footage. You get all of the, you get
Santa
the package.
has a house.
Santa has a house. You can get ornaments. You can get like whatever your budget is. You can really, I think, spend up to like $1,000 getting every single type of photo. And then we pulled up to the Santa last night and it was like, give some lady your iPhone. She's taking the pictures for you. And then you just like get the fuck on.
Yeah. Yeah. When at the Grove, you're like, oh, wait, like I'm in the North Pole. Like these people may actually work for Santa.
Yeah.
But then they just keep hitting you for things. Like my credit card is just out the entire time.
You don't even know where it is. You're just like somebody is swiping it again and again and again.
Yeah.
They're like, do you want the ornament pack? You should really everybody should get a hat.
You're just tapping. You're tapping.
Yeah.
You're tapping. But yesterday,
Rick Caruso is just like fucking you from behind the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just
unlubed in your ass. It's crazy.
Rough, very rough.
Yes,
very
it
rough.
hurts.
Yeah,
it's like
hurts.
not well.
It hurts. You get out of Santa's house and you're just like, what happened to me?
And then you go to the Cheesecake Factory where you think you'll have an affordable meal and somehow it's $500 at the Cheesecake Factory. It's
and
like everything there.
Yeah.
And then you have diarrhea.
Yeah.
Everything there is just like meant to ruin your life, but it looks so good.
And it's like the life that you're supposed to want and all those things. And like Cheesecake Factory diarrhea is very real. But yesterday, I actually really enjoyed yesterday more. I was very worried that you were going to be upset that the photos were not high quality because there was like, they were kind of backlit. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we all look like
a little
shit.
backlit. Everybody kind of looks like shit. But I have to say, I really enjoyed the experience. It felt vintage, like going to the mall with your family and just doing it. And like things in New York, there's just certain things that have stayed the same, and I appreciated it.
I genuinely, listen, I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I liked how anti of a production it was. It was just very much like we pulled up, we got our photo, we left. Yeah. It was fine.
It's actually all about the kids. It was really cool because it's the kids get to talk to Santa. They do their thing. Because even at the Grove one, it's like the Santa doesn't really talk. It doesn't feel like the kids, I feel almost are like, I'm in a thing. At the mall, they're like, oh, he was like raptor. And like,
totally. He like chatted with him and Santa really was like, would continue chatting with him. But I kind of was just like, okay, like let's give someone else a chance. He really was getting into it with him though. He started naming dinosaurs like Brachiosaurus and Santa was like, no, I want a Scorpius Rex. Yeah. But
he was a good Santa.
He was a good Santa. I will say, like
he was a little talkative to people's wives, but good Santa. You know?
No,
like,
I think the Santa at the Grove was like hitting on me.
Yeah,
he was like straight up trying to touch me, and I was enough.
Yeah.
But
they need Santas to watch those sexual harassment videos before they do it. You know, like there's some jobs you got to watch a sexual harassment video.
At this point, I'm like, whatever. Let's just let them do what they want to do. But I will say in LA, this could apply to most things in LA. While it appears to be for the kids, it's almost always for the parents. Yes. And in New York, I find that most things just aren't for the parents. Like nothing is aesthetically that pleasing. Nothing is like over the top done, but the kids always have fun.
It's comfortable for the kids.
And in LA, I'm like every fucking thing that I would go to, I'm like, wow, this looks incredible, but it's like impossible for my kid to have fun here. And here I'm like, whatever. It doesn't need to look great.
Huge line. You had to reserve it in LA and everyone's pushing you along and like charging you. There's like stress. This was all, it was just like, yo, just go to mall and go talk to us, go tell Santa what you want, bro.
No, I was very into that. And I do think that he was this was our third Santa visit. So we did it when he was like 4 months. Yeah. And then a little over a year. And now he's 2.
And this time he could actually tell him what he wanted, which was very cute
cool
to see.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Little homie's kind of big now.
Yeah, he's growing up. He's a big boy.
Yeah. it trips me out every day. Like he can have full conversations now.
Totally.
You know, he knows what he wants. He orders us around the house. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like it's getting cooler and cooler. Like people always say like whatever age your kid is your favorite age. And I genuinely feel that now.
I agree. I think every little phase that he goes through, I'm like, wow, this is the best one. Like, this is awesome. This is so much fun. And then it changes. And then I'm again, like wowed and kind of enamored by it and just like very into what he's doing.
I'm excited to go to Boston to do Christmas with your fam. Because we've never done Christmas with your fam.
No, we've never done it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I think now, like, everyone's kind of grown up, so it's a little bit different. Like my cousins and like our generation, we're all grown up and like have kids now. And then even some of my like cousins that have kids, their kids are a little bit older. So Senna, I think, is one of the youngest that will be there. But it's always fun. There's just a lot of excitement. There's a lot of people. It's kind of like one of those classic Christmases, like very Home Alone. There's just like a million people in one house and everybody's kind of like, where's this? And it's very like half Greek. Like the food is like half Greek, half American. So that's, you know, it's just like, it's all thrown together in like the most perfectly imperfect situation.
I love
time.
that. That is the type of Christmas I enjoy and I grew up with.
Yeah.
It's like when we lived in DC, there were tons of cousins and aunts and uncles, and like that's really fun.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Florida and we were the only family there from our family. And it was just like very flat. Like Christmas was flat for many years. So I'm excited to go be part of it.
Yeah.
Does your family know my tradition is to watch the Knicks on Christmas?
No, I don't think, I mean, honestly, like I never really know what the men are doing. Like I think that they'll be fine with that because I think maybe they're just like watching Greek television that like they're just like killing time doing anyway. So I think they'll be fine to watch the Knicks.
They're probably watching the Celtics on Christmas too.
No, we're not like a sports, like not, there's nobody.
Jonathan is a sports dude.
Yeah, but like it's Christmas. Like my family's very much like, they like honor, like it's not gonna like, like no one's gonna make the day about sports because they're like, this is Christmas.
As long as they know my personal tradition is to watch the Knicks
There's
on
multiple
Christmas.
televisions they'll be able to support.
Yeah.
There's a basement with like a vibe down there. Like you could go down there and watch sports with the boys. Like you could be in the living room watching sports. Like they'll support your situation.
Amazing.
For sure. That's the cool thing about like Christmas where there's just a million people. Everybody has their own vibe and their own zone. We always take like a cousins walk where everybody gets like incredibly high and just like comes back for dinner. We like randomly have to go to Starbucks, you know, and then and they're like, okay, we'll see you guys in 20 minutes. And everybody comes back, like can't open their eyes.
Oh my God.
It's just like Knicks, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like the
classic.
dude cousins are going to get like super lit, like stoned. Cause there's a few stoners in the family.
Yeah, I would say mostly everybody is like smoking weed.
Oh, good.
Outside of the parents. Like I don't think any like my
cigs.
mom. Yeah, everybody's smoking something, whether it's a cig or some weed or like, yeah, my family's just not big drinkers.
Yeah.
Like they're into smoking things.
What's that? Is it Uzi? Is that the Greek liquor that
Ouzo.
Yeah, Ouzo.
But
yeah.
my family really likes Metaxa. And so it's like just a different type, but same vibe. Nobody really drinks on Christmas anymore. Like we used to have this punch that was like out all day and available when I was growing up. So when I was like probably into like high school, the punch bowl was a thing where like it would be just like it was a Long Island iced tea essentially, and people would get fucked up. And especially on Christmas Eve, there was like a hazing that would happen where if you were like around 14 or 15, you were the target that year and you were about to get so drunk that you'd be throwing up. And like it would be because like our uncles would get you drunk. Like they'd be like, here, you're going to get the drunkest you ever got. And with us, we're going to ruin alcohol for you. So like when you go out in the world, you know how to drink. Like you're never going to do this again. Like you're never going to get so drunk that you're vomiting again.
That's like the Simpsons episode where they had Bart just like smoke the carton of cigarettes.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Like it happened to me one year. I was just like, my face was red and I was like, what is this? And they were like, you're drunk. You're wasted.
Yeah.
It happened to Jonathan one year because they had the royal roast beef holiday party on Christmas Eve. So on Christmas Eve, somebody was getting fucked up.
Wow.
And then that you would spend Christmas, everybody would be like It was you, wasn't it?
What was the Royal Roast Beef holiday party like?
Just like, it was like a holiday party at a very small restaurant with a bunch of cooks and like people who ran a restaurant that like weren't from this country. So if you can imagine, like it was just like a bunch of immigrants getting together and getting incredibly fucked up at a roast beef restaurant, which is essentially like, imagine your local McDonald's, but it's like ran by like Greek immigrants, and like that's the vibe.
Yeah. No, I'm excited because like I may treat myself to smoking weed with cousin Nick again.
You should.
But the issue for me is that like every time I break the seal and smoke with cousin Nick, then I smoke for like 5 months afterwards.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I think I will on Christmas and treat myself.
Yeah.
But then just like not purchase any new weed.
I think what we should do is we should maybe bring a bunch of weed as a gift for Nick, and then we all, like, you guys smoke it, I don't smoke weed.
Yes.
And you guys smoke it, and then it's just like, you have it now.
That would be good.
This is for you to take. So then like we don't even have it.
And you know what? I will get the good weed from the serve.
I mean, I'm going to be
going to the dispensaries that have shit weed.
I'm going to be ripping cigarettes.
Welcome, bro. Welcome back.
Hello.
Come on in, man. Good to see you.
Welcome.
Love it, man.
How's everything?
Amazing. Yeah, we haven't seen you since 2023.
Well, we were talking about the last time we saw you. I was pregnant, and now our kid is like talking, which is crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's a really good visual demonstration of how long it's been.
Yeah. Now he's like running. He's like at school today, which is great. Like,
How old is the kid?
he's 2. He's a little over 2. Yeah.
What's his name?
Senna.
Senna.
Yeah.
Like the
race car
like
driver.
Ayrton Senna,
Yeah, definitely, man.
For sure.
I didn't want to be wrong for your entire inspiration.
No, that was definitely the inspiration.
Yeah, that's the dude.
That's funny.
For sure.
Wow, the cheetah print or the leopard print fucking pool table.
Yeah, I feel like you fit in here. You fit.
Yeah.
I was like when we were walking, I was like, this feels like a fun movie set.
Yeah.
Do they let you do this till what time?
Well, we get like a 2-hour block. I mean, I'm the chef here, so it's cool, but you know, I just have to get back in the kitchen and do stuff. So we block off like 2.5 hours for the pod.
Because now I'm thinking like, what could I shoot here as like a fun little skit?
Yeah,
It looks
sure.
like an amazing set design.
Yeah. It's a vibe.
No,
here,
I mean,
for
you've
sure.
been making a lot of like little films and things for the brand.
Yeah, that. I think it was always kind of the goal a little bit was as you as well, but try to figure out how to like take what we were doing and apply it into like the film, TV space, because I mean, the KidSuper world kind of lived in that like surrealist version of New York that we all love. And so, yeah, and now it's funny because, you know, I do a lot of stuff in the KidSuper world where I'm like, this is such a silly, stupid idea. And they're like, wow, what great marketing idea. And you're like, oh, I was just trying to like make this funny video with my friends. And now you see a lot of brands trying to do it as well.
Yeah.
So the short film stuff that we were always doing now, you know, other brands are coming. So the competition's raised, but it is funny to think about some of the like childhood box checking things that I was trying to do that now people are like, wow, what a great marketing idea. You're like,
I mean, I remember when the era we were growing up, it was like, what are you going to be? You're going to be a designer? You're going to be a singer? You're going to be a writer? It was very like siloed. But I feel like everyone understands like the benefit of being multidisciplinary now.
yeah, but then I feel the same way as someone who people always call me the multi whatever hyphenate. It is shitty to say out loud. Like, I hate being like...
I'm kind of good at everything.
Or like, you know, I do this and this. And then when you meet multi-hyphenates, like the model / DJ / da-da-da, you're like, I'm going to shoot myself.
Yeah. But it's not like, you know, like we got in trouble
Even though
once.
I'm all of those, you know, model. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, it's like DJ, barber, creative director,
Yeah,
fashion
exactly.
designer, you know.
That's also where it's always funny, where it's like a lot of like hard things, and then it's like creative director or just like creative.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
rough
funny.
to say.
That's funny. But no, I mean, I definitely came up as a multi-hyphenate. People were like, you were a lawyer.
Yeah.
You sold weed. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. And I'm like, they were all kind of
But
like,
I like those. I like how different those
Drug
are.
dealer,
Yeah. That's good.
But no, it would bother me a little bit because I was always like, I just want to be good at the things I'm doing.
Yeah.
But once I felt like, I have accomplished the things I wanted to accomplish in each of those fields. Now I don't mind when people are multi-hyphenate because I'm like, no, I did good. I did good.
No, I think
same
that's
for you.
That's how you like. That's the only way it can be like acceptable is if you're good at all the different things. And I think my thought is like you don't really tell that many people your other hyphenates until you're good at them. It's weird to be like, yeah, I'm an aspiring multi-hyphenate is always tough. But I don't know. I think nowadays, I think people also, we have access to like every part of a human, which I think before you'd only see like Russell Crowe act. But little did we know he came to America as a musician. So like he's an amazing singer and musician, but we don't see that. We just see Gladiator.
Yeah.
So I think people are more multi-hyphenate than we realized. And that's why we were so like, this guy must be this or this person must be that. And I think deep down, more people are like good at stuff than we think.
Yeah, and no, there are more people that are good stuff, and it has created a false illusion. Like I was in a meeting that was very funny like a year ago with a brand, and we were like doing some literary things. And one of their like creative director people was like, I decided today before this meeting, I want to be a writer. I think I'm going to write for this publication as well. And I was like, well, you decided today. The guy's like, yeah, like I was a server and a manager and now a creative director in the food space. And I think, writer is the next thing I'm going to do. And I was like, you decided today. And I was just like, my man, I'm not editing this piece. I'm not reading it. I'm not touching it. I'm not editing this piece. You need to practice.
Yeah, I think also people want to get behind people that you're confident that they'll work hard or finish the project. And that's where like, some people ask me what's my greatest skill. And I think one of my greatest skills is just finishing things and being like the person that gets the buck across the table or whatever that saying is. But I really respect someone who's like, if someone says I'm going to do something and then the next day doesn't, it's like the boy who cried wolf. You're not going to call on him again. But it was funny. I just had some like a gallerist come by the building, and real like capital A art people definitely don't love to hear like, he's a fashion designer, he's a da-da-da, he's a da-da-da. And now I want to showcase his art at my like esteemed gallery. That doesn't help.
They're going to want to throw you down the stairs.
Yeah, exactly. And so me like breaking into, they always say like the capital F fashion world, which I was able to break in, which was is pretty cool because in my mind, it was the most like elitist, gatekeeping, walled up industry, and it actually was quite open-minded, which I think is a cool thing and maybe another story. But this gallerist came in probably 6 months ago, and I was telling them like, look, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do all this stuff, blah blah. And I think he was sitting there like, oh my God, what an annoying person. But 6 months later, he came and I had done all of it, and he was like, his perspective of me completely changed. And he was like, wow, now I see it all so clearly. I initially just like was saying like, this guy's talking out of his ass, blah, blah, blah. And the fact that you were able to accomplish all of the things that you were saying, even though they might have been in different mediums, was like super impressive. And then I was like, finally, I was like, you think this multi-hyphenate stuff's easy? Like,
no, you do have to be twice as good. And I think the thing people want to see when you're entering like a new industry like art, right, is like you got to respect the people already there. It's like, don't displace, don't be a gentrifier in here. And then you do kind of have to be twice as good, right? And one of the chefs I respect the most is Tom Colicchio. And I remember when like Boogie, my first movie, was coming out, he hit me up and was just like, Eddie, when I met you, I thought you were the most annoying, loudest kid, and you told me all these things you were gonna do. And I gotta say, you actually did it. And I was like, thanks, Tom. Like, it meant a lot to me because like Tom is an incredible chef. Like, if you look at his restaurants, like how on point and tight they are, and then he's had like a 20-year career in television. To hear from him, I was like, whoa, word, you like respect me. He's like, I respect you, man. And it was cool. But it takes a long time.
And just like, yeah, like even if stuff is, I think, like good or bad or whatever, just the like actually finishing, actually stepping up to the plate, actually like, you know, to finish any project, big or small, you have to galvanize like hundreds of people. And just even to be able to do that shows that enough people kind of believe in you, which means you've proven yourself enough times to like your friend group. I always tell like young designers that are like, look, they always ask me for advice. And I was like, be the person that always like finishes and always shows up. And then when things are going to need to be done, you're going to be the guy that they call. And like, that is a little bit of advice where I'm always thinking in my past, like, why were people so willing to trust me a little bit? And it was like, oh, I was the guy who said he was going to do something and did it.
Yeah, and you do have that thing. Like, I think there are a lot of artists and designers we know where they're very original. The designs are fantastic. The aesthetic stuff comes easy to them. But to like ascend in a field and a business, you do have to have like leadership and accountability. And I think that's the thing that people always do say about you. It's like, yo, he is a good person to work with. He's a good person to learn from.
Yeah, I think, and that it was when I was obviously now, like, obviously I started KidSuper with a bunch of my friends. And I remember like maybe a couple of years ago being like, I can't work with my friend. You know, like everyone always says like the worst thing you can do is be business partners with your friends. And I remember being like, okay, I need to like get in all these people that aren't my friends that know all the answers that da-da-da. And then, you know, you do that and you realize like, oh, being like a good person that's like loyal and that you trust is actually way more valuable than you thought. And maybe this was like a realization I had, like, I always thought the grass was always greener in terms of like intelligence or knowing the answers in terms of my friend group. Cause I knew how much we knew, right? None of us really worked at a brand. None of us had that much experience. So I was always thinking someone was going to come in and know everything and be able to solve everything. And now I'm like coming to the realization like, wait, are my friends smart? And like, that's like kind of a funny thing to think about where you're like, oh, I was thinking someone was going to come in, but actually my friends are just as smart. Not, you know, not everyone, and there's always mistakes and problems, but that was kind of a funny realization recently.
Yeah, I really think working with friends is a case-by-case basis where
we talked about it last. It's funny. I bring it up often when I'm thinking about it. I know this was like a couple years ago, but we had brought it up, and you said something that I really loved was like, if you have a friend that starts working for you, it's not up to you to like mature. It's like up to them. And because I was always, you know, trying to figure out like, how do I like become a boss, but not ruin it, but not da-da. And your thing was like, no, your person has to step up and be accountable. And that was a big, I remember, I mean, like I think about it constantly. And you said it to me like, you know, over a couple of years ago on our podcast. So
it's
cool.
dope. And I'm still learning that thing in the kitchen here where it's like, you can love someone, but they do have to step into that role and take on the responsibility, and you can't do it for them. When you start to do it for them, that actually creates the worst situation because they feel guilty. They start to resent you. You start to resent them, and it's a mess. And I've just learned like, yo, my love for you as a friend is separate from you stepping into this role. Like, you still got to jump over the jump, man.
Yeah, and that's like a beautiful thing when it works.
Yeah.
And then not a great thing when it doesn't work.
Yeah.
When it doesn't work, you're like, why don't I even go down this fucking road?
It's the worst when it doesn't, but it's the best when it does. And it's like, honestly, it's like love. Like working with your friends, it can be the greatest, one of the greatest feelings in the world when it hits and everyone is like doing their shit.
Yeah.
Because then you have people to celebrate with. Like that shit means a lot.
I have, so like when we do these fashion shows, we have like a studio space where you set up and you have the fittings and you have all the people come in. And I always have like all my friends come that like help and don't help and whatever. And we hired a new stylist for it that's like came with 5 assistants. We had never had a stylist that had assistants. Like we were like, oh, whoa, this is what this is. And like everything was super, super organized. And because most of the people that had styled for us were like kind of their first time styling a runway show. So they were as green as we were. So anyways, he had it all set up, and like my friends that usually come are always doing something because we're so like, hey, you pick up all this or you do this, or like, hey man, what do you think about this look? And they were so prepared that like I found all my friends kind of like sitting being like, we have nothing to do. And then I was like, what's weird about this? And I kind of weirdly missed the chaos of everyone chiming in. And it was funny, the stylist, because we're using them again, but he called me yesterday and he was like, is there a way to like not have your friends like all around because it's like distracting and da-da-da. And I was like, what are you talking about? That was the most undistracted. Like, that was the chillest thing ever. I was like, I was actually going to call you and say like, hey, can you include them more and make it like a little bit more messy? Aww. He was like, it was so chaotic. I was like, I actually felt like we were missing the chaos. So
what are you going to do now?
I like the chaos.
Yeah.
Like, there's something magical about the chaos. Obviously, not everyone's used to it, and it can rub some people the wrong ways. But there is something fun about, you know, when everyone's involved. You at the end, you're like, it's like we beat them together and stuff like that. I had to paint a mural for a soccer team in Germany the other day, and I was like, I need 5 assistants, and I thought the mural was going to be like, you know, that big of a wall. And so they're like 5 assistants confirmed. And so I text my 5 best friends and I'm like, you guys want to come to Hamburg for a day? I got to paint this mural, but like they're putting us up and we'll see Hamburg and blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh yeah, amazing. And then I have one of my friends, I was like, okay, you'll be like the manager of this. And he is hilariously demanding. So he's there like, how much per diem do we have a day? For the hotels, like, da-da-da. And he's like texting us on the side, like, we got this. And we're all giggling. We get there and the wall is giant. like yes. 10 times bigger than I thought the mural was gonna have to be. And I have 5 of like my best friends. So I'm looking like, oh my God, like we really did need 5 painting assistants. And so we're looking at the wall. I'm like, fuck, this is gonna be so hard. And so we like look around and it's like, one of my friends can paint, like thank God. And then the other 5 were like, all right, we'll build the scaffold. Cause like we thought it was gonna be like so simple. We're like,
bro, that's like the reverse Derek Zoolander when he's like, what is this, a school for ants? You're like, bro.
Yeah, it was exactly like that. So like 2 of my friends build a scaffolding out of like found shit. Another friend figures out how to like go buy a projector so we can like project the thing. The one who can paint is like doing all the outlines with the spray paint. We're looking there like, should we spray paint this or should we paint this? We didn't even know like what art form to use. And then we end up doing it and like accomplishing, but like staying the whole night. There's one where we had a bucket of paint on the top of the scaffolding that we forgot. Then we moved the scaffolding. The paint like splatters everywhere. We're like cleaning the floor. And then the next night, we like celebrate because we had accomplished it. Yeah. And we're in Hamburg and like we're partying and we're going to all these weird places. And like just now as Ty was like, these like trips we have where there's a mission and like an obstacle that we have to overcome are the like better than any vacation because you like feel like you earned it. Mm-hmm. And like we're not like huge party guys like 5 days in a row, but like one huge party where like we will go crazy. And so like it just feels amazing. So I think there's like a weird, I don't know how to like sell this as a tourism thing, but like the idea of going, like accomplishing something and then
I think we talked about it before. It's just like you need a KidSuper travel show where each episode is like a gig because it's like there is this like childlike chaos that all of your work springs from. That's like the Goonies. You're the Goonies fashion brand. And it's just like, I think if you ever got rid of that chaos, I don't know what KidSuper would be.
Yeah.
Like, it is who you are and what it is.
Even now, I keep trying to be more planned, but the problem is when I'm more planned, I just add something to it to the point where I'm never planned. I'm like, now, like I have a fashion show coming up in January.
The chaos ignites something in you, and then it comes out.
And I just don't know what it would be like to not be so chaotic. But it is a blast.
This is literally our relationship.
No, truly, because I think I like had so much chaos in my life that like once I had a child, I was like, peace. Like, I just need peace. Like, the kid is chaos. And this is such a fun thing because like kids are supposed to be chaos, and like we just beat it out of them throughout their whole lives. We're like just beating the shit out of the chaos out of them. So now I try to really embrace it for him. But I'm like, as the adults, we need to be peaceful. And he is an agent of chaos as well. Like, literally just like anytime there's just like, we'll have 2 days where like nothing has happened. And I wake up on the third day and I'm like, this is about to be the worst day of our fucking lives. Like, shit. I'm about like, it's just, I was like, today, if there's 2 consecutive days, something's gonna happen.
Well, the thing that I'm
so sorry.
It's totally fine.
The thing that I feel that now I'm coming to terms with are like, people are having kids on purpose. They're
planning this.
You, bro. Yeah. I like can't believe. In my mind, as a kid, I always thought parents knew things. And now I'm figuring out like so many of my friends who have nothing figured out are now parents.
Parents are just your homies.
I know.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, what? We're allowed. I mean, like the fact that there's no like just driver's test that you need to pass to become a parent.
No, there should be.
I feel like you having a kid would be the best thing.
Oh,
yeah, it would be a great job.
It would be amazing.
I want to skip to like, and I was thinking like how, I don't know if it's possible, but like to adopt like a just 14-year-old.
Yeah, you can. You
want to adopt
good.
me and help me pay my mortgage?
Yeah, just all of a sudden it's like, yeah, dude. This is my son. He may or may not be 14.
You could totally.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Then he's just like kind of a friend, kind of a son, kind of a brother.
Yeah, no,
I don't have any siblings. I'm basically just trying to have siblings.
Yeah, she's single child.
I have no siblings either.
Yeah.
I know. It's like not great.
Some people always
I
think
have to pee really quick. You guys talk only child.
But are you gonna have
We want to. I think I want to have just one more.
Yeah, well, if you were an only child,
yeah,
you know that it wasn't the best unless you loved it.
No, I don't think. I think when I was a kid, it was tight because I just didn't like. I didn't like have a dad either, so I just had a mom, which was cool because it was just like me and my mom, and she was kind of my friend. It was like the situation that you're describing. Like I was always kind of a mini adult, and then we just like did shit together, which was cool. And my mom's just a very fun person. She's not like a very like, she's like, let's have fun. Like, oh, cool. You're like doing shrooms. Like, that sounds awesome. Here's what you should do. Like,
but were you lonely?
I wasn't because I had a million cousins and like we all lived. I like lived with my cousins at one point. So I never felt lonely. But now that I'm older, I wish that I had siblings, and I mean, I technically do. I have 3 half brothers, but they're so much older than me. We never lived in the same house. Like we don't.
They're like uncles.
Yeah, they're like I'm like, even if we were hanging out today, we couldn't like reminisce on like a vacation we went on or whatever. And now I'm like, oh, like he'll tell me about like ski trips he did with his brothers and how like this guy did that, like Emery did this and Evan did that. I'm like, oh, like I would love that.
Very fun,
dude. It's the best.
Yeah.
Having siblings is like every day a KidSuper production. Like, yo, we're gonna build this fort and we're gonna take out Megatron and we're gonna get Shredder. Like,
what is the age difference between your siblings?
3 and then like 2.5. So it's like me and the middle brother Emery are 3 years. Then the youngest brother were like 5.5.
You're the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
Yeah. I don't know that people always analyze the child's order.
It's real. Birth order is a very real thing. And like when your parents reinforce it, it's like unnecessary. Like I feel bad for my middle brother because he actually is a real leader. Like my middle brother was meant to lead. I'm kind of like an accidental leader. I'm like, I guess I'll lead. I guess I'll do. I guess I'll show you guys what to do. But I'm very cool with like giving other people power. My middle brother though like likes to be in charge. And he probably should have been in charge.
Of the three of you.
Yeah. But my problem is I'm definitely like a peanut gallery dude. So when he be in charge, I like poking him and making fun and he gets upset. So, but no, my middle brother was actually a very alpha guy.
Okay. Yeah. That's I just also would love like brothers are kind of, or siblings are just like another version of you. And like, I just would love to see that pan out.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Where I'm like, oh, whoa.
Yeah. How did the genetics mix that time?
Yeah.
But I don't have siblings. So I was like, as a kid, like I would sleep over people's house like 6 of the 7 days of a week.
Oh.
And just like never be home.
Damn.
Like that. Cause I'd be like, oh, sorry, I gotta go. Like cause I had moved a lot as a kid, and once I lived for like 5 years as a kid in Wisconsin, and that was like pretty much freedom. You could like walk out your house and go into someone's house and all that stuff. And so yeah, I would sleep over like 4 times a week.
That sounds fun though.
Yeah.
That
and my
sounds
friend
fun.
he was like you, 3 every 3 years. He had siblings. And so it was like, yeah, I'm just one of the siblings. But I never understood, like, you know, it's funny because I always talk to my parents. I'm like, why don't I have siblings? And they're like, well, you know, we have siblings and it's not that great. You know? Like, that's always like a funny thing where it's like grass is always green.
Yeah.
I also think like all the other cool thing about siblings is like his interests become your interest a little
Yes.
bit. And now you know about whatever he's doing over
Yeah.
there, which is cool.
Yeah, he was my like we would play all those video games together, like StarCraft, Warcraft, Dawn of War. He was just always smarter and better than me. So I would like take out whoever else for him or like be the like human shield and then he'd win the game. Like he was always just smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That of the ranking the brothers, are you who's the most intelligent?
I would say I'm the second most intelligent. The other one's really nice. The other one's really sweet, you know?
That's always funny.
Yeah, he's very sweet.
That's what people want to be described as.
Yeah. But
He
when he
is
did take
nice.
the gifted test, he scored the highest. He had the most like raw potential, but I think he like didn't read a book till he was like 12 or 13. And he was straight up like Floyd May. We were like, can you read one page of a Harry Potter book? And he's like, shut the fuck up, man.
But then he scored the highest of the test.
Yeah, he had the most raw genetic intelligence on those things. I had the lowest. I was the lowest.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, but the middle one was always like very, very smart.
Okay.
It was just like clear he was the smartest one.
Yeah. He won like a Scientology award for like his science. He wrote this like science fiction novel. How old were you guys? He was like 12.
He was he might have been 21, but he won like
The difference between 12 and 21
Yeah,
is so
sold
different.
it to me like he was like a child. He was like, he
Yeah.
wrote it as a child.
he won. This is like a prestigious science fiction like writing award. L. Ron Hubbard puts it out, and he won like the 25th anniversary L. Ron Hubbard Gold Award for this story he told about how in an alternate universe future, people needed super processors from frogs. These frogs would spit out the material to make basically what we now know as semiconductors. But he predicted the whole shit and created a fictional world. Like he's ill.
Yeah.
Like honestly, it's crazy that the smartest person I know is literally my brother.
Yeah, that's cool to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's so successful because he's that smart and like so hidden because he's that smart.
Yeah.
Like he just like at all costs, he was like, yes, I need to take this and like
Dude failed
Iron
like
Man
PE, failed multiple classes, strolled in and won a national merit final. Like he was a national merit finalist, almost didn't graduate high school, and then like was working just Barnes and Noble, and then like, you know, he ended up winning that writing award, but then chose not to. Like they offered him like this big deal from GameStop to like write the whole franchise, and he's like, no, I'm good, and then went with me to China and now is like big bank, you know? So it's crazy. He's had a crazy path.
Now you have to like bring the book out of retirement.
Dude,
And
he's
then-
tried.
Yeah, I sent it to our agents. Like we both actually have the same age. I've sent it before, and I sent it before all this AI stuff, and no one saw it. I think they
Yeah.
would see it now
Right.
because
Yeah.
it's like he was 20 years ahead.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
The
You should
AI
definitely have a second kid.
Yeah. Have a 3.
Yeah.
Actually,
we'll make you one too. No.
Get to it right now.
Maybe we can get like a BOGO deal.
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
one, we get one, we get 3.
I want one like they got to be like 14 though.
Yeah.
Like a little bit.
That's tight. Honestly, like
I want them to be 90% like sustainable.
On
their own.
Yeah.
So I could just be like a fun uncle.
Yeah.
Uncle.
Yeah, you don't gotta change.
That's
your
another
diaper.
thing that sucks when
You can't be.
I can't be an
yeah.
uncle really. I mean, I could marry into an uncle, but I can't be like an uncle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to like. Well, whoever you marry could like.
Could
you know,
have,
you
yeah.
Like uncle-in-law.
Could, uncle-in-law.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's
Yeah.
a
Not
hyphen.
the same.
It's another hyphen.
Yeah.
You don't need more hyphens.
No, you don't want that.
You're even hyphenated as an uncle.
I
That'd
know.
be fucked
You
up.
could be our kid's uncle if you
Yeah,
want.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Godfather.
Yeah, Godfather's a good one.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I haven't been given that yet.
You know, well, if we have 3, if
Just
we
start
have
making
3,
your
we'll start
family.
throwing
Start
them
making
out,
your
you
family,
know?
Or
bro.
now I just like step up to the plate. Or I have to Nick Cannon it.
Oh yeah,
You could do that.
All of a sudden, I've got 7 children.
Yeah, Antonio Cromartie.
Which like
just go
doesn't
big.
sound that bad. Like he feels like he has a good deal. He just kind of like pops in and he's like,
Well,
has, like,
also some of the kids are Mariah Carey's
yeah,
kid
that's
as well.
also
so
the thing.
That's,
Where it's
respect.
like if
That's
you're
okay.
doing that,
that's good.
yeah.
I like those.
Yeah.
I like those.
Yeah.
Speaking of kids, and also because you love film, and the thing is, kid, I have rapid fire questions for you.
Oh, let's go.
All right,
These are
rapid fire inspirational children's films: Lady and the Tramp or Beauty and the Beast?
Lady and the Tramp is one of my all-time faves.
Lady-
Love that. Like, if you asked me as a kid, that would be my like #1 movie.
Bro, that's crazy because I guessed. I was just like, I feel like he would like that film.
Yes, unreal.
Lady and the
If
Tramp.
you asked me at like sub 12, that's my #1 movie.
Lady and the Tramp or
Yeah.
101 Dalmatians?
Oh, it's gonna be really hard to beat Lady and the Tramp right now. We started
Okay.
like with a fucking
Okay, we
banger.
started with number 1.
But I do love like I wasn't so into 100 Dalmatians as a kid, but now I realize it's kind of like a fashion movie.
It is. It's an
yeah.
Upper East Side
She
fashion.
just wants
Yeah.
to make a coat.
I know.
Like straight up,
And you're
it's
like,
all about her
oh,
coat.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
this is such a
Yeah.
fashion forward film.
The jazz is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Lady and the Tramp still.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Lady and the Tramp or Jungle Book?
Ooh, Jungle Book's good, but okay. I really wish we didn't start with Lady and the Tramp.
Wow.
It's like one of those
All right,
things.
I'm going to try to beat it. Monsters, Inc.
Oh, Lady and the Tramp the problem is Monsters Inc. came out when I was like a little bit older.
Yes.
I saw
Yeah.
Lady and the Tramp at like 5.
Yeah.
Where I
Okay.
was like, there's a couple, I don't know if you have them. Okay, keep going.
Inside Out.
No, not even close.
Wow. Oh, okay, the next one I feel like Ratatouille.
No. Anything
Anyone can
modern.
cook. No.
Anything modern, I'm out.
Okay, The Grinch.
No, but I was
What
gonna
about
say,
Lion
like,
King?
Lion King's a close one.
Okay.
Oliver's and Company. Have you ever seen
Oh,
that one?
yeah,
Oh, what about
yeah,
James?
yeah,
Okay.
As
What
a kid,
about?
that one, like All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Oh, that one's
Okay.
good.
Those are the ones.
That one's good.
I feel like
I feel
Land
like
Before Time.
Land Before Time. Which one is that?
The dinosaurs
Dinosaurs.
with Littlefoot.
I don't know if
what
I've
about
ever seen
James
that.
and the Giant Peach?
Oh, incredible!
I feel like that would be your
Ocean.
shit.
Yeah.
I loved that movie.
That movie's great.
Yeah.
I feel like I consider those 2 tiers of animation, where like the Monsters Inc. is like
Yes,
CGI
yes,
ish or
Pixar,
whatever.
yeah.
So I just think those are different.
Yes. Damn, we really just came out the
Okay,
gate
so
with the
Lady and
number
the
1,
Tramp.
rapid fire.
I like beyond love Ladies and Tramp, and then the
Wow.
spaghetti scene.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
very
even know
cute.
I was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
romantic until I saw that. I was like, maybe girls don't have cooties.
yeah,
Yeah. Maybe I do want to eat spaghetti.
But yeah,
That's cute.
I also like the ruffian trying to break it into the
Yeah.
that story of the main character.
Five-O Goes West. You like Five-O Goes West?
That's a real dog.
Yeah, it's the little mouse guy.
I don't know
Five-O.
this.
Oh, Five-O is
Never
good.
saw it.
All right, then I'm going to ask you rapid fire.
Okay.
This is your personal favorite early streetwear brands. I'm
Ooh.
like curious
This is good.
to see what are your faves. 10 Deep or Hundreds?
Oh, my very easy answer for me is 10 Deep because I'm a New
Did I
Yorker.
pick like your favorite one
No,
again?
no,
Okay.
no. Don't
10
worry.
Deep or Diamond?
I'm just a New York kid. 10 Deep was more for that than Diamond was always bigger.
West Coast.
West Coast.
10 Deep or SSUR, sir?
Oh, Sir,
Rust backwards.
Sir was scary when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I was like, I didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
and I was like, and I would always hear like demon stuff or like they're into dark shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was more of a 10 deeper.
Okay. 10 Deep or A-Life?
Maybe A Life.
Okay. A-Life or Mishka?
Mishka was big for me.
I felt
I
like
was like
Mishka.
waiting for Mishka. Mishka aesthetically wasn't that big for me, but just like everything they were doing was big.
Yeah.
The one I wasn't really wearing a lot of these brands, but I was obsessed with them. But I have more in my mind.
Yeah. Okay. Mishka. This is a low key one, but I feel like Mishka or Reason.
So Reason supposedly went to my high school as well, Brooklyn Tech.
Oh, word.
One of the founders.
They were kind of my favorite because they had the Dipset shirt, the Diplomat shirt,
which they made like $1 trillion off of at that time.
Yeah.
But I think he went to Brooklyn Tech, one of the founders.
Word.
But I'm more Mishka.
Okay, Mishka or Mighty Healthy?
Mighty Healthy was amazing. I don't know the story though. I remember being like, "What is Mighty Healthy?"
Well, it's the Ghostface song "Mighty Healthy," but yeah.
But no, who created Mighty Healthy?
Yeah, I think it was a couple Filipino dudes.
Okay,
but that's all I know because they were OGs. They were like a little older.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, that's just hard. I remember that Ghostface song.
More Mishka.
Okay, Mishka or Undefeated?
Mishka.
Mishka or Recon?
Mishka.
Mishka or a New York thing?
Now there I was waiting.
Yeah.
A New York thing, I would sit there and be like, this is the greatest name of all time, the greatest logo, anything to a New York thing. I was obsessed with the name. And I remember sitting in high school being like, we have to come up with a name better than anything.
Yeah.
And it's the greatest name ever.
Yeah, Aaron's shit has always kind of been my favorite.
Yeah, that was the best name ever.
Yeah.
And the logo and the hat and everything.
Yeah, iconic.
So good.
All right, anything, or this was my personal favorite. They were only around for a couple years, Lamar and Dolly.
Oh, anything. I didn't know. I thought you were going to go with like, there was a couple brands like Peg Leg.
Yeah.
Which
Peg Leg was dope.
I remember being like, what?
Peg Leg was very cool.
Because they were also kind of like a little bit more or less street wear and more like whatever they were doing. Clientele, which was like a store.
Yeah.
I don't know
On
if
Lafayette.
I don't know if it was a brand. Only New York, which is like a little bit younger generation, but came out really hot when I was in high school and it felt attainable.
I love those dudes.
Which
they had
was
the
like-
office up in Harlem.
Yeah.
Micah and them.
And I remember looking at them being like, that's not so far. Where some of the brands like felt already too established to even like aspire to, where I was like, only looks like, oh man, I could follow their steps. So I used to study them a lot. It's funny to say like study.
Yeah, no, we all
Yeah.
did. It was like you'd look at these brands and look at what everybody was doing.
But
and do your
then
own
Mishka,
shit.
the reason was when I opened my first store, it was right next to Mishka. And Mishka used to be in kind of like a random neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I remember
Williamsburg, right?
Yeah, it was like South Williamsburg, right under the train. And I remember being like, it's so cool that they like picked a location that demanded you to go. Like it wasn't like foot traffic where you'd like step on or like stumble upon it. And then I remember, because our store was right next to it, on Thanksgiving night or for Black Friday, they'd have sales at midnight. Starting that midnight, and it would be like progressively like 80% and 70% depending on the hour. And so there'd be a line down the block at midnight on Thanksgiving. And I remember sitting with my friends being like, that's a real brand. I was like, if you can get people to show up at midnight on Thanksgiving to line up for your clothes, like there's something real there. And so a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, for Black Friday, I was like, we got to do what Mishka did to see if people show up. And I remember like me and my friends, I'm like, no one's really going to show up. Like what that like lining up era is gone. It's not the same anymore. And so I brought like no staff. It was just me and my friends. So like, we'll see who comes. And like, there was a line down the block. And I remember being like, we fucking did it. Like KidSuper's real. And so, yeah, shout out to Mishka.
Yeah, no, that era, I wanted to ask you about it because you can see the inspiration in your work. And it's just like that era where every single neighborhood had a kid that was printing up shirts, trying to do a brand, represent. It was like, that was the most fun era to live in New York.
Yeah, I also think it was what I found really, really cool about that era is you could get obsessed with a brand and through that brand find out about musicians, find out about art, find out about
the neighborhood.
And so like these brands really stood for like a very specific niche interest.
Yeah.
Like the guys who created Mishka were like nerdy, comic book guys. Like the graphic style was because that's what they were into. And so you'd get into that style and then you'd be like, oh, there's this comic and then there's this illustrator. And I loved that. And I think now it's dying for sure. Cause like for KidSuper, if you're into KidSuper, you'll find out about, the soccer is huge for me. Art's big for me and film is big for me, but it's still not as niche as it was back then. And I keep telling like different brands like Nike or Adidas or whatever because I remember there used to be so many stores that you could go to buy sneakers. And there used to be like Dave's Quality Meat, which was a huge one for me because one, I love the name, and two, it was like kind of hard to find. And so I remember going to all these different A-Life, obviously, and different places where you could buy like really cool sneakers. And now you could go to 1-2 places.
Yeah, it's the same. It's franchise.
It's franchise.
Everything's franchise. And I remember even like the Lola brand, who I loved. It's the homies like James and Sean and PJ from like the Hamptons. Lola was just their skate park. So that was the name of it. Like Lola was the brand. And like people were repping themselves and where they were from and the community and the shit they were into. And like, I really miss that.
I just love the idea of finding out about things through brands. And now it's more like you're finding out a brand through things. Like I remember the Dinosaur Junior Nike SBs. And I remember thinking, oh, that's a cool name for a colorway. Like it's called Dinosaur because it's purple and silver. And I remember like, what is Dinosaur Jr.? And then like researching and finding out about what Dinosaur Jr. And you remember the Uncles. And I thought the Uncles was just the name, but then you find out they're like a band and all this stuff. Now collaborations, it's like, and it's Billie Eilish. And you're like,
that's not the point.
We know Billie Eilish. Also, we're not fine. You're using them to make like promote you, where I think now like big brands have the power to like do really good product with kind of niche things to kind of help those worlds.
Streetwear worked because there was a subculture that the big brands like Bloomingdale's, Macy's, these people, they had no idea what the hell these things were. And there was a space for retail and people designing clothes for people in the niche culture. Because niche culture, subculture used to exist. And I don't think it exists that much
It's hard now when we're all on the same Instagrams, we're all on the same Pinterest boards. We're all looking at like if you travel right now, you still see the same brands, and it's kind of obviously
like
it's
you said, even with streetwear back in the day, like if you were in New York, you weren't wearing the hundreds or diamond. We wore our own shit, and they would wear New York a little bit, but we would never wear the LA joints. Do you know what I mean?
I didn't even. Yeah, it wasn't even a thing. I remember I loved Johnny Cupcakes.
Yeah, from Boston.
Wow, shout out. Boston.
Yeah, Johnny Cupcakes. Okay, again, it felt like little superhero characters.
Yeah.
And that's why it was so fun. You're like, who the hell is Johnny Cupcakes?
Yeah.
How is he? And then I remember thinking like all these brands were giant in my head.
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
And I remember being like, how are they even operating? Like, this must be such a crazy thing.
And then you're like 3 dudes drinking Bushmills.
Exactly. Like there was Fresh Jive. That's a West Coast brand as well. And I remember being like, they're so mysterious and they must be like the coolest or like whatever. And then
now we're all just like unks hanging out. And it's like, that guy had that brand and that brand. It's just unks in the bar.
No, I'll meet someone and they were like, I started like, I was part of that. And I'm like, that was the coolest band ever. And you feel like some of the guys behind the brands are really like shy, nerdy guys, which is also kind of funny. To like, because you think like this guy must be the coolest human ever because he started such a cool clothing brand, and then they're just good at graphic design or like really into like comic books. And you're like, oh wow,
Adobe Acrobat.
I was like, but no, I mean, there's a lot of young brands now that are doing cool stuff. The only thing is like the competition's so crazy and that like to really, it's so hard to like break out, but also be successful enough to like tell a story without being like so commercially driven. Like the idea of having like this very distinct vision and then also like successful enough to like continue is very difficult.
I definitely think that when we were coming up, it was it was cool to like rep a brand or be a fan of a brand and you support it. You didn't overthink it. Now people are like, oh, should I follow that person? Should I like that? Oh, what am I giving them by supporting? And it's like this weird transactional thing that's not guttural anymore. And I'm just like, if I like something, I'm going to support it. And I think that's the way like cool cultural
I think even like
start.
someone came over yesterday and he was saying like, yeah, I never wore KidSuper. Like I liked it, but I didn't know like who you were. And and he was like, you were an awesome hang. He's like, now I want to wear it. And it's kind of a funny world where like,
that's really funny.
You have to like really be the person, which not everybody is, but, yeah, I mean, I think for every, I think for every time you're like, this generation sucks and the old generation was good.
Yeah.
I think there's positives here now as well, where it's like the idea of using a brand that you have to like open opportunities that you never thought you could, like because of KidSuper and what I have now, like the abilities to like contact different people or work on different projects or be into different rooms, like was never even a
I actually
conversation.
think this generation, Gen Z, is about to like do ill shit. Yeah. And I just want to be like a fan and observer because it's like our generation, it's kind of like we're done. Millennials, good job. Everybody, good job. Chill out.
I'm still more locked in.
Yeah, I don't feel that way. But I think that there's also just like, there's people that of your generation
but make
that
mature
probably,
work.
Yeah, different. Okay. Yeah, different. I get it.
Mature era?
Yeah.
Daddy era?
Yeah, I'm making
Papa,
more mature. Like I wrote a novel
children.
and I'm like more thoughtful. I think there was a time where I was like youth cultural and like I want to be part of it. And I started to like feel slightly distant from youth culture around like 38, 39 naturally. And then was like, oh, I still want, and then around like 40 and we had the kid, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start writing and making work about mature themes, like things that are prevalent in my life because the youth cultural stuff, that's not what I'm living anymore, but that's me. And I had to just be real. So I'm excited to see what younger people are doing because like, I'm not in it anymore.
The only thing that I'm worried about with the young people is just the AI access.
Yeah.
Like every day I'm seeing something where I'm like, no way, that's AI. And now we have like, you think we kind of good at AI. Imagine if that's like all you know.
No,
you're going to become
bad.
like an absolute wizard at AI.
Yeah.
So then we're going to be able. I remember I just saw like a video today and I had to scroll to the comments to see if it was AI or not.
Yeah.
And like all the comments were like, I think this is AI.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big challenge.
And it was it was like a cell phone video of a lion or like a jaguar in a flood jumping on top of an elephant to survive. And I'm like, wow, what a beautiful point of not humanity, but like the world. And like, wow, when all of it goes wrong, the elephant's willing to like save the jaguar.
But it was AI.
That was AI. And I'm like, who the fuck?
You may need to know off rip that is AI, bro.
And I'm like, who the fuck programmed this?
Yeah.
Like, because
why?
They had to write like such a specific prompt that also it's like shaky hand camera. Like everything was like, and I was like, man, this is such like sweet clickable content.
Yeah.
That like I was like, man, they even went AI for that.
But see, that's why I don't worry about the younger generation because I'm just like, they will figure it out. They got different challenges and they will figure it out just like we figured shit out, just like our parents didn't need to worry about us.
We had like shady chat rooms and shit. And like like looking back, I'm like, that was scary.
AI is crazy.
It is, but I just think like what you're saying, like the youth of the time will adapt to it in a way that like they will be okay.
I love how we keep talking about youth as his like distant friend.
I feel 90
I'm 33, 34.
Oh, you're young, bro. That's why you're still in it. You're still in it.
Feel
you're doing it. You're good.
How old are you?
31.
Yeah, she's in it.
Yeah, she's in it. I'm unk status.
How old are you?
I'm 43. I'm like your reverse numbers.
Yeah,
bro.
you are my reverse numbers.
I'm definitely unk.
Yeah.
Which I like it.
Yeah, well, now you have a kid and stuff.
Yeah. But
it's so different when you have a kid too, because I'm 31, but like people will be like, oh, did you hear about this thing? And I'm like, no. Yeah. Like I haven't left my house in 3 months. Like I have no idea what's going on.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
I'm
have to-
43, but mentally like 33.
I can tell you a lot about a dinosaur. That's all I got.
And then you're about to have 3 more at least.
Yeah, and then I have to worry about them trying to
Minimum.
kill each other. You know what I mean? So I have other. They're gonna try to kill each other with AI. So that's gonna be my
the
challenge.
dark world. But I think the cool thing also now is like to make stuff has become way more possible.
Yeah.
But at the same time, now everyone's making stuff. So you got to be really good. I do think cream rises to the top in every scenario.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. I'm not worried. I'm excited. But when I see Chris get up, that means we're almost out of time here. But
You have some trigger
when he goes
movements.
to check this camera, I know we have like 3 minutes, which he did. So, bro, thank you for coming back on the show. This is awesome
this is a
as
lot of
always,
fun.
man. You're the best.
You have to come to the building in Williamsburg.
I'd love to. We live here now, so easy.
I just put a soccer field on the roof.
Oh shit.
Go.
Yeah.
Bring the kid. He
Yeah,
loves
exactly.
he loves to
He
run and
loves
play soccer.
He's
We
a
have
big
like a
soccer
little
kid.
soccer league where they like train kids.
Oh,
Wait,
what?
that's so
Yeah.
fun.
No,
Yeah,
we're
but-
bringing
We're
him.
coming.
I
Yeah.
just don't know
He
how old.
loves-
He's 2?
Too.
He's 2, but he like is.
You got to start now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did soccer.
I
He
think
had, like,
being a
team.
really like demanding and like strict parent is good. That's my last
agree.
take.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't have that, and I'm like kind of insane.
Yeah, but if
as a
you did,
parent.
you'd be like unreal at piano.
I know.
Which would be so good
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be right
It's
now.
about entering the time now. Like I'd say 2, 3, like you start to introduce more discipline.
Yeah.
I think when he's 3, like she will allow me to introduce more discipline.
Yeah, let him
Yeah.
like just be like, hey, you have to be good at this, and then he will get good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we put him in soccer and he just started like running away, but he really likes playing soccer on his own. And the psychology is like if you put them in team sports too early, they rebel and then they don't want to do it. Like the kid will
You're
turn
reading all the
5.
books.
Yeah, like I know I'm like
She
so
knows.
into it. But so I was like, okay, we're gonna wait until he's like 4 or 5 so he can really like integrate into a team. Because when they're this young, they just parallel play. They actually don't like kids their own age. They
Yeah,
like older
it's
kids.
interesting.
And like when they see a kid their own age, they're like, nah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I'm more like, get back in there.
Yeah.
That's
too.
why. That's
That's
why I
it.
need a 14-year-old.
That's it.
Yeah. No, we were at like the parent thing this morning and like he took like a Lego piece and like slammed it near a kid. I was like, hey. And then I noticed like, oh wait, my voice is like louder than other parents here. I need to relax.
And I'm like, we don't do that.
I
sweetie,
actually think this is my
please."
last thought of parenting because my parents, and I'm not a parent and I know nothing about it, but my parents, the thing that I thought that they did incredibly well was that I always felt like we were on the same priorities. So like if I got on a table and like got completely naked in public, they would giggle and laugh and thought it was hilarious. But if I got a B and test or like did something poorly on soccer, they would be super harsh on me. But as a kid, I understood it. I was like, oh, I get why being bad at soccer or school would be negative to me. And then I get why being naked on a table is funny. But I think some parents would be like so mad at the kid for doing the
Yes.
table thing and then be like, it's okay that you got a C. But I think as a kid, that's like really hard to understand because you're
Yes.
like, why would this not? And then you start rejecting what they're saying.
Yes.
But I think you can be harsh on your kid if the kid realizes that you're on the same team and the priorities are correct.
That
like
is
this.
true
I'm
because
gonna
my
add
parents messed
this.
up a lot, but that they did really care about grades, and I'm glad they did.
But also, if they were like kind of lenient with stuff that you thought wasn't that serious, then you can be like, "Oh, we're all on the same team."
I like
I
that.
understand getting on the table can be kind of bad, but it's not worth screaming at a kid about,
Yes.
right? Because
Yeah.
then he's like, "What the fuck? Everyone's laughing. I thought this was fun."
Yeah.
And so my parents were really lenient in some things and really harsh on this certain things. But as a kid, I agreed with those reactions, and I
Yes.
think that's the best thing. Column the parent signing out.
I love it.
I like it.
I love
I
it.
can't wait for you to adopt.
Thank you, bro. Awesome.